These two, oh my god, they got on my last nerves. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I am reviewing Murdaugh Death in the Family, and wow, what a twisted ride. I watched episodes 1 through 3, which just dropped today. New episodes will release every other week, and trust me, this story only gets darker the deeper you go. Now, if you haven't heard about the Murdaugh case, here's a quick rundown. In 2019, a wealthy South Carolina teenager from a powerful family crashed his boat while drunk, killing a 19-year-old Mallory Beach. That tragedy was just the beginning of a long, disturbing chain of events that would eventually lead to the brutal murders of Paul Murdaugh and his mother Maggie in 2021, and the shocking downfall of the family patriarch Alex Murdaugh. I've never heard about this case before, so this is my first time hearing about it, and so I was very intrigued when I had watched the first 3 episodes, so I had to do a little bit of research to see what this case about. And basically, yeah, I'm going to be going down a rabbit hole because it seems like there is more to what I'm telling you guys regarding the incident about the crash in the boat and also the murder of the mother and the son. Now, this series deep dive into the family's dark secrets, their wealth, influence, and manipulation. What makes it so compelling is how layered it is. You see things from the father's perspective, the mothers, the sons, and even the victims. On the surface, they appear to be this perfect, respected family, but beyond closed doors is chaos. Alex struggles with addiction because he's a pill popper, and Paul is an alcoholic, okay? And the town looks the other way because of their names and status. The boat accident storyline made me furious because there was zero accountability from Paul or his family, especially after what happened to Mallory. When Alex told the victim's family to stay quiet, they actually listened. That's how powerful this man is. The only one who dared to speak out was Paul's girlfriend, and I do apologize in advance because I forgot what her name is, but honestly, she was the only one that was brave enough to do what's right, which is go to the journalist and tell her side of the story of what happened. Now, Alex, though, he is something else. He is manipulative, arrogant, and craves attention. The man literally lied about the settlement money, okay, and scamming people out of what they were owed. And it was crazy how Alex took his family to vacation, and when that money hit that deposit, that $750,000, yeah, he took that money. And when he spoke to the family, the one that's supposed to be receiving the money, he said, oh, the insurance company should be calling you, just be patient. He was just saying nothing but some bull crap, basically. You can see how Paul mirrors his father because it's like father like son. You know, they're both alike, actually. You know, Paul, he also craves attention as well, and he's also arrogant. Even though Paul seems to feel some guilt, especially when haunted by Mallory's memory, it's kind of hard to feel bad for him after everything that happened. Yes, he finally had a guilty conscience. That's why he reached out to Gloria and talked about the religion and God and so forth, and he felt bad regarding the situation. But early on in the episode, you know, when he was talking to his girlfriend, you know, he wanted to make sure the girlfriend just shut her mouth and don't say anything. But now, you know, it's sinking in on him, and the remorse and the guilt is eating him alive. And so now he feels bad. But like I said, I mean, it's kind of hard to feel bad for him. So, and then there is Gloria. She is one of the few general kind people in the story, and she works with the Murdaugh family and always putting everyone else before herself. And this scene in episode 3 kind of broke my heart a little bit because the way she was treated, the things she endured, and the tragedy that happens to her was very devastating. You know, she has, I believe, a heart problem, and Gloria's son said, hey, you know, you need to go to the doctor, but she refused because it's too expensive. And the son is like, well, what about Maggie is supposed to give you the money? And basically Gloria was like, they're going through things, so she didn't ask. But she overworked herself and she failed when she was carrying those luggages out the car, and it ended with that episode. And so the dynamic between Alex and Maggie is just as toxic. Maggie enabled Alex's addiction, trying to help him through his withdrawal, but in the process, she's slowly losing herself too. The whole family is just spiraling, and it's hard to look away. Maggie, she's just like Gloria somewhat. She's doing everything for the family. She's making sure the family comes first before her and so forth. But she also dealt with Alex's infidelity back then and also his addiction, and Maggie said that she wasn't going to put up with it any longer, but a couple of seconds later, she turned back around and gave him the pills that he needed and also apologized. And I'm like, Maggie, what we doing? Okay. But episode 1 through 3, between past and present, which makes it a bit hard to follow at first, but it's worth sticking with. Now, episode 1 felt slow to me, but episode 2 and 3 really picked up the pace. And there is a lot to unpack. It's a lot of moving parts, and it keeps you hooked once things start unraveling. And so there are 8 episodes total, and I'm definitely looking forward to episode 4. And I am just curious what is going to happen next. And like I said, after I read the real true life of the Murdaugh family, I'm just curious of what was going through Alex's mind, basically, of killing the ones you love, which is your wife and your son. And so if you enjoy true crime series that mix family drama, greed, and tragedy, this one is worth checking out. Like I said before, episode 1 was kind of slow in my opinion, but episode 2 and 3 pick back up, and I will be reviewing each episode every week. And so if you like this review, make sure you also check out my spoiler-free review that I just recently uploaded, which is Devil in Disguise, the John Wayne Gacy story. Now, this was another dark and unforgettable true crime series, which I enjoy as well, but that series literally broke me. And so if you enjoy true crime series like this, please make sure you check that one out. Also, thank you so much for watching my channel. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and until then, see you later.